What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are doing an overview. What are we looking at? Well, we are looking at James Tynion's The Fourths and Eryk Donovan's Memetic. All right, so Memetic, this is the slipcase deluxe edition. The deluxe edition is literally just without the slipcase. So if you don't, it's more expensive. So if you're not interested in spending an extra 20 or 30 bucks on the slipcase, you're still getting the exact same book when you buy the Memetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. Oh, it's upside down. Anyways, so this book, I've heard a bunch about it, and frankly, I love sloths, and I just love the art on this slipcase too. I mean, even that, just the like crazy sloth, the happy sloth, which is very much a part of this book, at least the first third of this book. I thought when I was I love to go into books blind, so fair warning, I'll give this away a little bit. It's not really a spoiler. This is actually a 3-part book. It's not one continuous story. It's like 3 different episodes. And how I've been describing this book is, if you know the movie director Roland Emmerich, he did like Independence Day and things like that. He does like world-ending movies is kind of what he's known for. But it's like a Roland Emmerich directed episodes of Dark Mirror is kind of the crossover that you're getting with this. So it's like end of the world Dark Mirror crossover stuff. Super interesting. I went in, again, completely blind, not knowing exactly what I was getting into, which is what I love doing with books. Some people love watching trailers and then going and seeing the movie and getting all hyped up. I watch like the first teaser and that is it, because I love to go into movies and books completely blind. My background is in film and all of that, so when I am watching a story, or if I hear a little bit about it, generally I have I'm looking for the story beats, and if I see them in a trailer, then I'm just like, or I hear about it from third person or secondhand or whatever, then I am looking for that throughout the whole thing. So I like to go in books blind. Anyways, that's a big explanation to say that I did not realize when I got into this that it was an apocalyptic trilogy that were all kind of loosely related, but not at all intertwining story-wise, but thematically. So yeah, really cool story, really cool book. You know what? Let's stop talking about it here. Let's lay it down on the table and check it out. All right, here we have the Memetic Deluxe Slipcase Edition of the Apocalyptic Trilogy, Memetic by James Tynion the Fourth and Eryk Donovan. Okay, so I'll show you the slipcase really quick because this is awesome. It's got the black part spot gloss, and the other part's like this really interesting matte, which is pretty cool. And then spine, and then yeah, so it's just like these circle waves going out. Really cool. Great slipcase. I'll say the slipcase is really tight on here. It's actually pretty difficult to get back on. Anyways, so then we have the cover, and that also has that spot gloss on there with the rings going out and a matte print of that cute little sloth. Such a happy sloth. And again, this is by Tynion and Donovan. And there we go. And it's published by Boom Studios. Retails for $49.99 USD. That is the deluxe. I think the slipcase is $60 USD, something like that. But yeah, so we'll get into it here. Let's get into it. It's got really nice thick paper that it's published on. It is not really see-through in the slightest. I mean, if you hold a light right behind it, you're going to see through, but not bad at all. Move that light over here. Anyways, yeah, so here we have getting into it. I wish the end sheets were this. I'm a sucker for end papers that have awesome art on it. I wish this was on there. Anyways, minor gripe, but yeah. All right, let's get into it. So this is in 3 parts. So did I miss it here? I don't think I did. So you have Memetic. We'll do that part first. And this is basically where that sloth comes into play. Is this is very much like a Dark Mirror episode, kind of a bit of a horror that kind of slowly gets into things, and like things start to unravel quickly, and it's pretty great. And I gotta say, Donovan's art is just outstanding in here. He really does take good care to put in a lot of detail on stuff. I mean, a lot of people might just leave. A lot of artists might just leave, the background to just, just straight up line work with not much detail in there. But he does a lot of nice brush strokes in there, and I do love the like juxtaposition of like the post-apocalyptic to the like current day now, and pretty cool. And this one has a lot of texting in it, and so it's pretty cool. Like internal thoughts going on mixed with text messaging. I don't know that I've ever seen someone use an image like in text messaging on a book before in a book before. So like I've seen them showing texting in here, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen someone draw an image into it. I don't know. Anyways, just a something I noticed. Anyways, all right, let's get into it. So this is basically, um, I won't talk too much about what's going on in this, other than uh, someone sends out an email at about 7 a.m., 7:05 a.m. On day one, and an image is brought out, and it is a happy little sloth. And people are in love with this sloth, and it slowly, well, actually, pretty quickly, just gets all over the world, just goes worldwide. And our main character here, he cannot understand why it's so well received and so well loved. And I won't go into why he doesn't understand it, but there's a spider on my desk. Things slowly unravel throughout the day. I guess that's not very slow if it's just throughout the entire day. So you have a couple people here who seem to be immune to the happy little sloths, uh, uh, you know, his pull, and you have most of the rest of the world who is not, and they have to figure out basically what's going on as you figure out what's going on. Really, really cool, and stuff really unravels quickly. And yeah, so as with any end of the world thing, the world is basically ending, and you have a group of people trying to survive, and everything is just all hell's breaking loose. Really great stuff, and it does actually have a good wrap up to the ending. I will try and skip forward here a little bit so it doesn't spoil anything. All right, so we'll jump into, oh, that's chapter 2 of that book. Let's go over. Okay, so after that one ends, we won't show that. Part 2, we have cognetic. So we have memetic and we have cognetic in part 2. Cognetic is basically about, starts off with some dolphins and fishermen, and this kind of virus almost is spreading. Again, this is kind of like memetic with the spread of stuff, but this is that was not really an intelligence spread. This is like a hostile takeover kind of a mind intelligence, and really interesting take on it. Has a bit of a like vibe where you I'm trying to think of I guess old guard, where there's people that have been around for a while, long time, that know what's going on and all of that. I don't, it's really hard to talk about this story without giving it away, but it is really cool. It is really interesting. It's I don't know if it's a good play on, like, if it's, I got to think about it more, if it's a play on like groupthink, or, the good and bad behind groupthink. But it is really, really interesting. It basically takes place mostly around one one central location, and really cool art again by Donovan, like guy falling off or jumping off of a building, and like the panels built into the building as he's, their reaction as this guy is falling. Um, the sky is falling? This guy is falling. Really cool, and it very much builds into like, whoa, what is going on? And some absolute craziness. And then you get some interesting time jumps around throughout time, and they start jumping around the world, and really, really fun. Definitely interesting. Had a little bit of a Thing vibe too, if you've seen that movie. Had a little bit of that in there. Yeah, really fun. I mean, giant golems all of a sudden out of nowhere. It makes sense within the story. Very fun book. And then we get into, then we get into part 3, eugenic, and this is basically a story of a virus, the Mississippi Delta virus. So it kind of sets it up here, December 6th, 2022. This virus comes out, and basically you have this doctor who is very eccentric and kind of crazy, but he has what is the cure, allegedly. And so it spread, obviously, I mean, we know how things work with mass viruses, and trying to all find a cure for it, as of the pandemic and all that. So this is kind of a little bit of a play off of the pandemic, but where it just goes absolutely sideways. And then what happens after it goes sideways? So usually a story would be like, okay, this is about how it goes sideways, and then it ends. This story, it goes sideways, and then it jumps way far forward to see what happened after it ends. So really interesting to have like the first half of the book as like the lead up, and then there's just this big jump, and then there is this whole second half that talks about what happens after 2037 Anno Domini, the final year, after the eugenesis and the great beginnings. So that jumps, I think, a few hundred years forward, and you see everything that happened and the craziness that's going on with it. And it seems like, okay, there's good coexisting and stuff going on, but in the depths of what happened, all of a sudden a story starts to be revealed on what's actually happening. And is it a darker plot, a darker twist, or is it actually good? I'm not going to go too much into that, but very fun. I think reading through all 3 of these stories, Memetic was my favorite, eugenic a very close second, and then Cognetic was bringing up the rear, but was still fun. All 3 stories were great and well told and really interesting, but I think Memetic, and then eugenic, and then Cognetic were the order of my personal favorites for this story. And then at the end we have some artwork by Eryk Donovan here. We'll flip through this really quick, and as you can see, the binding's pretty good. You might have heard some creaking or not. I stretched it once, I read it, and now I'm looking through it now. So this is 3rd or 4th time it's been opened up. And then, so you have all this cover art in here, and then some about Tynion and Donovan in the back. And then you got the happy little sloth. So that is the full Apocalyptic Trilogy edition, the deluxe edition. Definitely recommend picking this book up. Really cool, and I really hope that they do more. But that is a look at Memetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. All right, so that was a quick look at the Memetic Apocalyptic Trilogy. I gotta say, again, the writing by Tynion is super good, very interesting, cool stories with lots of great twists that kept you on your toes, on the edge of your seat. However you're reading, I don't know who reads standing up unless you pace around. I don't know, or you're on like a treadmill or something. Maybe that'd be a good idea, is to like walk and read think a lot of people do that. Anyways, did not invent something new there. Really great storytelling by Tynion, and awesome art by Eryk Donovan. He does some really great art. So if you haven't checked out Donovan's stuff, really good. I love just the like thick, heavy black lines that he uses. I really appreciate that style. And it's very, it appears messy at first to me at least, and then you start looking at it and you start seeing how much detail is actually going into these images that he's drawing. Really great stuff, really cool. This was super quick read, so it's not much to be able to sit down and pump out. Like, it's in that trilogy form, so it's not hard to sit down and read one of each of those books within the book, one of each of those 3 parts in one sitting, maybe 2. So I think I knocked this out in maybe 2 or 3 days over a weekend. Really good, really had so much fun reading it. I am a huge End of the World fan. I'm not so much of a Black Mirror fan, in that, man, that first episode, I know you're supposed to skip it, is what I've heard, but that's what I watched first, and it is, ooh. Anyways, but I'm a big fan of stuff like that, and technology mixed with psychology and physiology, and it kind of blends all of those together in society. Really great stuff. I really enjoyed it. I hope that they do more of these. I could definitely see, because it is, they're not really intertwined story-wise. I could see them either continuing each of those stories in another book, which would be pretty cool, or just doing completely new out there stories, episodes, whatever you want to call them. Really great. I really hope that they do more. They definitely could. But that's it. If you're looking for this book, I know the slipcase is a little bit difficult to find right now, but definitely check out the links in the description. If you're looking to pick up some books, you can head over to Organic Price Books. Use my code Omnibuddy for $2 off every order of 1 to 3 books. If you're ordering 4 or more books, you can use the Omnibuddy Ship It Together, get 5% off your entire order, all of that stuff. Help support the channel, help support OPB. They're a great company, and they have been really working hard to step up after the huge influx of people ordering at the end of 2024. There was a crazy ton of stuff, and I know that they've been working hard to get everyone's orders out and keep up with demand. Crazy stuff, really cool. Anyways, that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, do all of those things. But the most important thing to do, I say this in every video, is to comment. Let me know in the comments what your favorite short, like one-off story is. So it has to be at least self-contained in a single book with no other canon or storylines needed. And preferably indie comic, because I love indie comics here on this channel. So let me know in the comments, 1, what you thought of, if you've read this trilogy, what you thought of it, and 2, what your absolute favorite one-off short story graphic novel is, so that we can all go check it out, and obviously why it's so good. Anyways, all right, I'll let you go. That's it. Take care. Stay cool.